I know a lot of you won't believe me that I used to be depressed, but I was. At my lowest point, I would contemplate putting an end to it all multiple times a day. If I were to just step out in front of that car, maybe I'll just sink down into this warm water and float away, never to wake up. What if I were to just cut right here? Would I feel better? Would I feel alive again? Would anyone notice me gone? I was in such a deep darkness that I had no idea how truly dark it had become. To me, this was normal. This was every day. This was who I was. Me. Little me that was slowly dying in a pit of darkness that only I could see, that only I could feel, that only I was living, barely. Now, what caused this level of darkness, you ask? Well, it was many things. And now, let me be brave, the bravest I've ever been, and share with you my epic journey from that place of darkness to light. It all started from my birth. Born into this mortal world, drowning, I quickly learned the world wasn't safe for me. So I put up defences and partially blocked myself off from true connection due to the immediate trauma I'd experienced coming into this world. It wasn't air, it was water. Following that, a few days later, I developed a facial birthmark which would scar me for many years to come, in more ways than just the physical. By the time I started at school, it was normal for me to receive looks of repulsion, fear, judgment. Even other kids would ask what was wrong with me. Why was I so ugly? I found myself always putting a smile on my face to hide the truth that these strangers were stealing a piece of me each and every time they looked. No amount of smiling could stop the stares, or the words that sank so deep into my little tender spirit. As a small child, you don't have the life skills to know that boundaries would have protected me, that protection and love from the ones around me could have stopped me from feeling so alone. I didn't have the skills to stop things from penetrating deep into my heart. Many years later, I once again was in the firing line and became the victim to my autoimmune disease, causing life-threatening symptoms and a future of perpetual illness. All the while I'm struggling inside to keep myself being me. All the while the waves of life kept crashing over me and under me, throwing me off balance with each passing day. Never fully able to take a step in a direction I wanted or chose, but always being taken by some unforeseen force, always out of my control. It was as if I was in an airtight glass box. I could see and hear everything around me, but I was sealed away, sealed shut from feeling and experiencing anything in a full way. Always on the outside, looking in. Never seen, never heard, never loved. Many years later, after so many medical professions letting me down or simply ignoring my pleas for help, I remember crying out, "I've had enough. I wanted it all to end. Just take me. I no longer want to be here. What good am I to anyone? No one wants me. I'm broken." A voice as clear as day spoke so strong and clear to my heart, as if they were behind me, wrapping their warm, strong arms around me. "You have so much more to do here. Not yet." And from that day forward, a tiny spark of hope was planted in my heart. Each time I thought about ending it, that seed in my heart glowed, and I knew I was supposed to stay. It took me many days and many weeks to step away from that darkness, away from that cliff edge. But from that moment, I chose to water that seed. I chose life, not death. I chose to look inward and water this little life that was holding on. Instead of focusing on the pain, I chose to choose this new little glow of hope. I started to understand that by stepping back from the edge and asking for help outside of myself, there was a divine answer just waiting for me. I started to cultivate this voice from myself. I journaled and wrote down all of my troubled thoughts, the deepest, darkest thoughts I had about myself and everyone else around me. Things I thought too horrendous to voice aloud. Now they had a chance to be free and dance on the pages of my life. But they no longer ruled my mind, and in turn my body. By letting them loose, I could admire, respect them from afar, and begin to accept these parts of myself that were so fragmented, so in battle with each other. One day, as I was becoming more aware of my internal heart getting lighter from all this expression, I started to feel that I could tackle my outside being. I researched natural and holistic ways to heal my body, learning herbal medicine, holistic therapies, anything that spoke to me, I learned. I tried and tested so many foods, medications, supplements, and lifestyles in a pathway to greater understand my mind-body connection. I am forever grateful to the darkness for setting me on this journey. If it weren't for this acceptance of my shadow self, I would never have got to this place now. As my body and mind began to heal and I started to see the me inside me come forth, the true me, I began to want even more transformation. I was finally feeling that I was making a difference to my life and allowing my soul the space it needed to breathe again. As I started to uncover and unlock the deeper parts of my heart and the shadow self that I had so often denied, bringing forth all the trauma, all the pain, and all the anger right into the forefront of my life. It was so unbearable to walk around feeling this enormous emotional mountain. I would still have days of utter distress, but not knowing how to unburden myself. It seemed too great for one person to contain, and seeing as I had come so far, I wasn't ready to give up yet. And so I sought out the therapy and therapists that I so desperately needed to help unlock this deeper layer of anguish. I went to the heart of myself using therapy of the heart. I travelled back thousands of years to my Akashic records of past lives. I accepted and experienced generational pain, loss, death, and truly allowed my soul and the souls of previous lives to finally get the healing they needed. I stood in the gap. I healed what was wanting and waiting to be healed. That chasm of pain was finally free and healed. The healing balm of forgiveness, acceptance, love, and the souls brought back into love and peace were all it took to finally and fully heal and immerse myself in the healing waters of my soul. My higher self came back to me. I was no longer in anguish, wishing to depart this world and return to the ether where I came from. Through this healing and many other ways I live now, I have accepted that I am a soul having a human experience. The highs and the lows are all a part of being alive, and I choose to live and embrace it all. I daily show up for my higher self by following daily rituals and practices in my life. From listening to my heart and falling in love with my soul, I met my own desires and dreams. I cultivated a life I wanted to live. I became excited to wake up and experience the day. I followed my passions and stopped living for others. When I think back, I realise that this shift enabled me to leap out of my comfort zone and follow the life that I'd always dreamed of. I'd always shut myself down before, but this time I went for it. Little did I know that led me on a crazy learning curve of finding my future partner and my future life. He and I are now together 3 years strong and venturing onto our own adventure together, both fulfilling our dreams and our individual soul paths. I continue to search and listen to my own inner compass, and I thank the stars each and every night for allowing me another day on this beautiful earth. I urge you to find that seed of hope. Ask for it if you need to. It's never too late. You can and you will be the master of your own making again. Surrender and let go. Ask for help from the universe and those loved ones around you. Water that seed of hope within. You will grow again, I promise.